Hey everybody, me again, back from seeing a movie that I'm so wanting to talk about, but I'll keep this review short because tomorrow night I'm going to be in a live stream covering this very thing. I believe it starts at 3 o'clock. I think it's RF Biker Scouts channel. I believe that's the guy who's hosting it. Yeah. We'll not just be covering the movie that I saw tonight, but also other films that this guy has directed along the same lines. Now, I personally have only seen 2 of the movies that he has made. I think only 2 of them. Maybe I've seen more. I'm not really sure. But let's start this review off right. I went to see Star Trek Into Darkness. Engage review. So yes, Star Trek Into Darkness. I have one question for you people, okay? Just one. Just one little tiny question. What are you doing? You're sitting here watching my video when you could be at the theaters watching Star Trek Into Darkness. Okay? You have to go see this movie if you're a Star Trek fan. It's got all the nods. You know, of course, Kirk, Spock, McCoy, Scotty, Uhura, Pavel Chekhov, and Umai are back in it. Hikaru Sulu. Why couldn't I think of his name? They're all back, and it is fantastic. Bones, Kirk, and Spock, and even Scotty play off of each other wonderfully in this movie. This film is amazing. So what happens in the film? You might be asking yourself, well, I'm not going to say. I like to keep these reviews spoiler-free as much as I can. Although I'm not making any promises on this one. Suffice it to say, an old enemy has returned. And this new light that they've given him is interesting. Because in the film, they don't really, at least to my knowledge, don't really nail down his reasons for being a bad guy. He just simply is a bad guy. Now, I don't want to give too much away because when you find out who this character is, it will blow your mind. It certainly blew mine. Although I kind of knew going into it. I sat down, and as soon as the character appeared on the screen, I'm like, I know who he is. Well, not immediately, but when he got on the ship and started explaining who he was, then I knew who he was. Oh boy, did I know who he was. This movie is almost a perfect film, from my humble opinion. The fact that it bases most of its jokes and most of its story around a previous film. I won't say most of its jokes, but most of its story around a previous film. Some films can pull it off. Some cannot. I'm pleased to report that Star Trek Into Darkness can pull this off flawlessly. But man, the 3D in this film was amazing. If you have the chance to see it in 3D, totally do it. Totally. Because it's... Sorry, I'm looking at my fish. I don't see the blue... Oh, wait, they're there. Yep, there are a few back there. I gotta keep an eye on them because I don't want them to swim into the filter. But anyway, the film itself is brilliant. I absolutely love it. The comedy is great. It's a hilarious film for for Trekkies, for non-Trekkie people. I went to see it. The girl that I took to the movies knows nothing about Star Trek. She knows absolutely nothing. But she saw the original film, and she was laughing. She saw the first new J.J. Abrams movie, and she was laughing. She loved it. So, that tells you something. The humor in this film is timed perfectly. Scotty is wonderful. Of course, Scotty is one of my favorite characters. Whatever. Chekhov is great in this film. Spock is great. Spock gets a lot of good character development in this film. Jim, Kirk, Captain Kirk even gets really good character development. Bones, he's there. I'll say that. Bones is there. He does have his moments. He's a really great actor, and I love everybody who plays the new characters. I'm not like one of those Star Trekkies where it's like, it has to be William Shatner. It has to be, it has to be Kirk, Spock, and McCoy as we knew them back in 1960. I'm not those. And for a fact that they're like 80. It's like, I'm coming to get you, Spock. 2 hours later. I'm still coming to get you, Spock. So suffice to say that this film is brilliant. I will more than likely go see it again with fellow Trekkies. Still trying to work that out. Probably next week sometime. Next time I get paid, because I just bought a crap load of stuff in my fish tank and I have no money. Aside from what I used tonight. What else was I... A fish just swim out of SpongeBob's house. Yes! They're using their new abodes. But this film... Oh my gosh, this film! Oh, this is becoming a gush fest, and I really don't want that to be a gush fest. They continue to play with the relationship between Uhura and Spock, which I didn't think was going to work in the first movie, and I kind of liked how it worked in the first movie, and it still works in the second movie. They don't make it all about Kirk and Uhura. And there's a point where they're at each other's throats, basically. Uhura's not understanding Spock, Spock's not understanding Uhura. They drag Jim into it, and it's just brilliant. I love this film. I'll most definitely buy it on Blu-ray, and I'll buy the first film. I'm going to go out and actually hopefully buy that soon. Hopefully next week when I get paid. But the characters in this film, if you don't already know, all the original cast is back. Scotty, I think, looks a little too old. He just looks different from the first movie to this one, but it's probably because they're like 3 years apart. The actor who plays the main bad guy, again, spoiler free, does a really, really good job at being that character. Again, I'm not saying who he is. But the thing that is kind of confusing is, and I think this is brilliant. Okay, don't get me wrong. There are people, it's never made clear his intention. Motivations. He has one definition. Starfleet has another. Which one's true? We don't really know. I have my theories, but they do very much stick to his original, because he's from the classics. He's from the original TV series. I don't actually have that episode, because I don't think I do. So they very much keep him to his character that he was there, with some new added bits. Going over the characters. Kirk is back. What's his face is back. Oh, that's so nice. Pike is back. He gets a brief segment. He's in it for like 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. Leonard Nimoy is in this film. I didn't actually think he'd be in this film, but he was at the premiere, the big Hollywood premiere. So I figured he's got to be in there somewhere. And they bring it off so very nicely. This, between the two films, probably, it might just be because this one is new and fresh in my mind, but I did just watch all of the Star Trek movies over a period of, over this week. Oh, she's in it. I gotta touch on that. Don't let me forget. The way that they bring him about is spectacular. I wasn't too sure how the whole two Spock thing was gonna work, with the timelines and all that, but oh well. There is a character that some of you might know, and especially from The Wrath of Khan, which is essentially what this movie is. Okay, spoilers, the big bad guy is Khan. Alright, I don't think I'm giving too much away there by saying that. There's another character in this film. What's her name? Carol Marcus. As you know, in the other timeline, the other parallel dimension thingy, she and Kirk had a kid. And she and the kid, I can't remember his name. Developed Genesis, which, in effect, at the end of Wrath of Khan, is what basically helped them all to get away from Khan and all his bad guys. Well, the remaining bad guys, the ones that weren't blown up on the Calvin. Not the Calvin. Sorry, not the Calvin. That was the ship that got blown up in the first movie. But this really is a cinematic masterpiece. I will most definitely be buying it, DVD and Blu-ray. I need to go out and buy the first film first, though. Do you mind? Yes, go see this film. Go see it, go see it, go see it, go see it. Go see it. Oh, shut up. It has some great cameos that only real Star Trek nerds will get. There's a Tribble in it. They almost completely destroy the Enterprise again. I swear, the guys, the Playmates Toys, who make that Enterprise, should just make one that's completely blown up. It fit every movie. But the Enterprise looks great as ever. The engine room's a little different, but nothing that we haven't seen before. Just the film itself is brilliant. If you haven't seen it already, highly, highly recommend. As I've said, I'm gonna go see it again, probably, most definitely. Exterminate! Exterminate! I have a text. Oh, okay. Sorry, my phone's dying, and I'm just now getting the text messages on missed calls because I was at the film. I say if you like classic Trek, and if you like the characters from classic Trek, you will like this film. Now, what they're gonna do... Exterminate! Exterminate! What they're gonna... Exterminate! Dalek! Exterminate! Quit it! Ooh, hey. Exterminate! Shut up, I know! Never turn your phone on when you're trying to do a review. Where they're gonna take this film from here, I don't know. They could just do segments of Enterprise the TV show like they did. Only make them an hour long. I don't see how they're going to do that, but they could. Or they could just do, this is the end for Kirk, Spock, Scotty, and McCoy, and move on to Jean-Luc Picard and the Next Gen guys, which would be fine. We did kind of get a glimpse of the next class starship. Is it I don't know. It's a Constellation. Then there's Galaxy class. I think the Enterprise original is a Constellation class, but it's like the Enterprise B size Enterprise. So, yeah, go see this film. Definitely, highly recommend this film. Yeah, so that was my review. Done for now. Thank you guys for watching. And now that you're done watching me, go watch Star Trek Into Darkness.